Good morning. This morning I had a dream, just a usual dream. I was asleep and there was a lot of chaos and commotion, as often in my dreams. There's a lot of traveling, of running away, of accidents, of messy things, just usual. But this time around, at the end of my dream, I was in a house, and while the commotion was going on around me, I was sitting and reading a book. I don't know what book it was. It was kind of like a novel, and I was so entranced in it that I wasn't paying attention or answering or responding to whatever was happening in my dream. I was just reading. And this morning, this led me on a reflection around this. And after a dialogue with my inner voice, my intuition, I thought I would bring it to you. So the first step is, what if we took our dreams, where so many things are happening, as a mirror to our reality, where so many things are happening too? What if the peace I felt by just reading the book could be transferred to life? And in life, while so many things are happening, I remain still and I'm reading the book without just trying to fix everything around me. So that was the first step. And then I realized something. When you step away from living in your reality and reacting and controlling and trying to do many things to fix life, and life keeps on happening and life keeps coming at you with different challenges and events, it never stops and will never stop. Even if you find a few weeks, months, years of flowy stuff, life will keep on happening. So if you take a step back and stop being an actor, an active participant in that life, and you just read the story you are living. If you take a step back and you become the reader, the watcher, the observer, instead of a participant, then you see everything from a higher viewpoint and with much more peace, because you actually know you are reading a story. You are not in the story. So it's like reading a crime book or horror book or whatever book you want to read, where events are happening, events are catalysts and transition points. Whether they are good or bad, they are transition points for the characters to move forward and get to their more enlightened self, more aware self. So what if, and yes, so we're reading that book and it's a crime, horror, dystopia, whatever, and we're just reading it for the enjoyment of it, to live emotions, all the while knowing that we are safe in our own world, because we are the reader. We are safe, we are observing, we are sending love and encouragement to the characters. We want to see them succeed or fail, depending on your perspective. But we are safe. So what if we took this viewpoint on life, where we are reading our story and we are safe? We are always safe. And that led me in another tangent, because after that, and after a session with Bella Lively, a Sophia session, I put the link in the comments or here, I started to see this book as a Russian doll. So as if you had like many different books, like a giant book encompassing another one and another one and another one, and you choosing which story you are living, and you are reading and living and reading and living and reading, and being able to go from one point to the next at will. So when you decide to step out of your story, where maybe you've been for years, decades, months, depending. I know for myself, I spent a few decades in one specific book. And you become the reader. Then you have a higher point. And you find peace, and you just observe the events around you, or you're letting go, and your reality starts shifting. And then there comes another choice of, I can remain the observer and be at peace with watching this life, these events keep on happening and again, and reading the same book. Or I can decide to step into a new book and to be at the same time the watcher, the reader, and the participant, but in a new book. Wouldn't it be fun to do that? To be like, okay, I've stepped out of this book, I'm done with this book, I'm putting it away. And now I'm reading another book. And it's not crime, dystopia, horror anymore. It's a romance book, or it's a healing book, or awakening book, whatever. Or it's the Sunshine Chronicles, and it's just happy stuff. And you allow yourself to step into this new story. And this new story comes with new characters, new situation, new action, new beliefs, new emotions. It's all very exciting. And you can choose to be an active participant in that new book while reading it too. You can step in and out. And you can keep on doing that and getting closer to the bigger story, the bigger life, the one that you live from your inner voice, your intuition, from your soul. So that was an interesting realization, and it comes for me with a lot of ideas for my writing. But I also wanted to share one last thing that my inner voice shared with me, because I was quite curious to hear about other people that are in your life, and what happens if you step out of the book, if you step out of the story you've been playing. What happens when you become the observer, or when you change the story? I've been pondering a lot about changing and what happens in your relationship in the past few days. And so yes, I was curious to find out what would come out. And what my inner voice, my intuition, my soul said, my guide, however you want to call it, was that when you were stepping out of your story and just observing it and not being in the thick and the muck and the entanglement of it, you weren't disconnected from the people still participating in the story and just reliving the same thing again and again and again. But they may perceive you from being disconnected because you're not engaging in the story. You're not replaying the same patterns, the same actions. So you're reading, you appear away, but you're not disconnected from them. And you can send them much love and compassion and just be there and be present for them without actively participating in it. So I thought that was really interesting to know that when you choose to step out in a new book, you're not necessarily disconnecting from everyone. You're just acting and playing from a different book, a different story. But that doesn't mean you're not there. So yeah, let me know your thoughts. This brought me a lot of reflections, and I can't wait to explore this idea, this feeling of removing myself from the entanglement of the story, the part I'm playing, observing, and also choosing to read another book. Yeah, let's see how it goes. Please write some comments, subscribe. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, and I'll see you soon.